everyone, and welcome to the Sam Dever Podcast, episode 48. In this episode, I speak with KC. KC was actually my first guest ever here on the Sam Dever Podcast, so it was a privilege and honor to have him come do part 2. And he was in town for business here in Los Angeles, and we were going to meet up at his hotel in Glendale. And then I'm like, hey, you're not too far. Do you want to come to North Hollywood and do a podcast? And he came. We podcasted. It was phenomenal. It was a great conversation. The book of the episode, I'm going with The Magician's Way, What It Really Takes to Find Your Treasure by William Whitecloud. This is a really good book. I would compare it to The Alchemist. It's not exactly like it, but very similar type of vein in terms of following your inner truth, people coming and events happening that lead you on your journey, which leads you to your next thing, which leads you to your next thing, everything happening for a reason. Really that type of realm. It's a really good book. The Magician's Way, What It Really Takes to Find Your Treasure by William Whitecloud. Without further ado, here's my conversation with KC. KC. Welcome.
What's up, man?
Welcome to the Sam Dever Podcast again. Part
Pleasure.
2.
Yes, pleasure.
You're the reason why this even became anything. You were the first episode ever.
Oh, it sure was, yeah.
You're one of the most viewed episodes ever as well.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I guess some people liked
Why
what you
is
had
that?
to say. I don't know. I think people appreciated probably some of your directness,
Yeah, well.
perspective.
In fact, I was told that today, that I don't mix words and I get right into it. I don't mind a certain level of vulnerability, but hey, man, that's just how I roll, man. You know what I mean? Mean what I say what I mean. Don't play games.
Have you always been that way?
I don't know, man. I'd have to go back far, far away in a galaxy. But I mean, that's what works for me, man. You know, that's what works for me. Sometimes it works against me, but it works for who I am as a person. You know, I ain't gonna bullshit you. Yeah.
I think that's one thing I've really learned from you is you're one of those people that really knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like not just like personality wise or things you like, but from your dress, like every detail.
Right.
Like it's thought out and calculated.
Right.
You know, that was a progression, I'm sure.
To a degree. It mostly because I couldn't afford, back in the day to look the way I always envisioned. But I found a way, and as time went on, and I've had success in a few things. I've been able to acquire quite a few things, and I have a tailored look, very tailored. Yeah, it's just no accidents.
And even I'm just gonna say, man, that outfit's pretty fly. that you rolled up in.
Yeah, I know. No, thanks, man. This is my just taking it easy wear. It's classic, it's stylish, respectable. It's not too bombastic or loud, but it makes a point. You got to remember, we are communicating both verbally and non-verbally. So everything that you put on, you are saying something. A person wearing a cross necklace, they're letting people know I am a Christian. And I'm proud to identify with the Christian faith. And if it's got diamonds in it, well, I'm doing okay financially, or was at one time to afford this. So I'm using that as a very brief example, just as how we communicate with our speech, our dress, our grooming, how we smell. All of that. is communication. So I want to make sure I'm communicating the right thing to people, which is why I'm a little bit more meticulous than most when it comes to what I wear.
And for those listening, you're wearing a very nice Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah.
With the accessories, the glasses, the watch, and all that. That's interesting. You're exactly right. Like, I don't think many people think about that.
No, they don't.
They don't think about that at all. Even me with the suits, shout out to Will Edwards, the pocket squares.
Yeah,
like that little add-on, it's amazing how many people notice that. Like,
detail, man.
The details.
Yeah. The details. People truly underestimate the power of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. You walk into a high-end store or any store. What's the first thing a person's going to do? They're going to look at you, size you up, and make an assessment. Is it wrong? Sure. But this is America, ain't it? That's just what happens. And so, knowing that that's what happens, I want to communicate a particular message. Why would you spend $1,200 on this bag? Why would you buy a Louis Vuitton duffel bag? Because when I walk into that lobby, they are going to look at me and they're going to say, okay, this guy is established to a particular degree. I'm not going to get this dude no bullshit. Because if he could pay $3,000 for a duffel bag just to travel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You let people know where you are.
They probably take you more seriously.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, for me, it's a way of cutting through the bullshit when I'm dealing with people. Because I know that's one of the very few things in the United States that people respect, and that's your purchasing power. And if you can demonstrate to a greater or lesser degree, be it subtle or flamboyant, that you have purchasing power, you get results that most of the time that you want.
Sad to say, but you're right. It's, especially where we live.
Hey, baby. As this is America, ain't it? Shit. You better come on in.
Well, well said. And you mentioned America.
I did.
And I guess the light part of our conversation, we just got straight into it here, because a lot of your and I's phone conversations definitely get political, and really, I would go beyond political, really just humanity. Because you had been one of the early ones that told me about the book Sapiens.
Yes.
And I refer that book to you all the time now, because I'm like, dude, Sapiens was right about everything. Like, as much as we think we're technologically advanced and this, that, and the other, it's like we're doing the same stuff, arguably, that the cavemen were doing to some degree.
Yeah, that book was a gift from my friend Telly. Yeah, she gave me that book, and it really was a life-changing piece of literature, man. Because when I read that shit, man, see, I grew up in a very religious household. Black folks loving some Jesus. Probably it's part of the problem, in my opinion, but I digress. Religion, organized religion, if you will. And let me make the separation between spirituality, religion, whatever. Spirituality, you ain't got no skin in the game. Religion, you saying, hey, this is what I believe. Yo, you wrong. So to a certain degree, I respect religion a little bit more, although I can't stand it. So I grew up in a very religious household, and just a whole lot of shit just didn't make sense. And I'm a thinker. I always was a thinker. But when you have that influence, people underestimate that influence, man. And so when I was reading Sapiens, man, I was saying out loud, I knew I wasn't crazy. Because, it contradicted a lot of things that organized religion teaches. Um, but, yeah, that book, that's why I say that book changed my life, man, because it just really did. Pardon me. It just really did, man. And it helped me have even more confidence that there are people out here that are intellectuals that are thinking like this. And so, I'm not saying I'm on his level of intellectualism, but I just knew I wasn't crazy because, in all honesty, I had thought along the lines that he thought, and decided to pen that book. But I was thinking a lot of the things that he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
From a curiosity standpoint. Religion is man, that's a heavy burden on people, mentally and emotionally. Can't even be physically. But when you have separate thoughts, it can cause a conflict. And that book was, I encourage everyone to read it. Mm-hmm. I encourage you. He actually did a follow-up book. A lot of people don't know.
What was that called? Like Homeostasis or something like that?
Exactly. That's the exact.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, she gave me that one too.
Wow, man, there's so
Thanks,
much.
Telly.
There's so much I want to unpack with what you just said. Well, going just with, when it comes to like religion or politics, because politics is virtually a religion too to most people, some people.
Well, politics, if we're gonna define religion, technically, sure.
Yeah.
Politics has become a religion.
It's when you're taking something, like you're accepting something as law, and if anything goes against that, it's wrong, and that person's wrong, and they're a threat, because they're threatening. I guess that would make sense that religion has caused so much war. In politics too, because it's like they feel justified in their actions,
right?
Because in their mind, they're doing the right thing. They're defending truth, honor,
right?
The way it's supposed to be, and the other people on the other side feel the exact same way.
Right. Didn't Gandhi say the problem isn't Christ, it's the Christians?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of these things are contradictory if you truly look at, the Holy Scriptures. And I say that with respect.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this shit that's going on is, it's not the way that, it's not what the Scriptures say.
Yeah.
And they impose their conscience on people in their congregation. And I honestly just, I don't know, man. I just think we all need to take a step back and say, what are we doing? Because this, man, shit's out of control, brother. I mean, I'm telling you.
Where do we even begin with that? Is there any point to discussing it?
Well, man, look.
And maybe I should preface really quick.
We can go anywhere with it.
So I think I've been wanting to start this out with you. We've talked about it on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But, lots happened in the last couple of years. The pandemic, the riots.
Social
unrest. And I remember talking to you during the height of some of it. Mm-hmm. And you just calmly said, you know what, Sam? Let it burn.
Mm-hmm.
What did you mean by that?
I did say that. I meant things need to start over. Because when it burns down, what do? You clear out all the debris and you build again. And I think that's what needs to happen to this country. And I think that's what's going to happen to this country. You know, because we were talking about, what was that? What was happening with George Floyd?
Mm-hmm.
What was that something? No, that was Wisconsin.
Was it? I can't remember. It was so much has
Wisconsin.
happened, but it was during one of. But I think it was we were building upon all the events that have been happening.
But black folks have been saying that for a long time, man. They've been saying it for a long time. You know, it's one of the problems with people is that we live in this circumference of familiarity. Have we talked about that?
No.
Okay, so a circumference of familiarity is just that. Circumference is being a circle. Familiarity is what you're familiar with. And for most people, that's 5 miles. It's a 5-mile radius. Okay, so if you were to go to your neighbor and say, hey, man, you see any racism in America? If I was to go to my next door neighbor and say, this is racist, she's going to think, and based on what she watches on television, her point of reference is what happens in a 5-mile zone.
Mm-hmm.
So she lives next door to me. I give her mail. Goes to the grocery store. There's all types of folks there. So they interact. And you see it here too. When you come home, when you're off, you're not going to Long Beach. You stay in this area. Dry cleaning where's your dry cleaners?
Actually, Sherman Oaks, but it's all in the valley here, yeah.
But you stay, your grocery store, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. My point is that you see all these other folks, hey, Johnny, how you doing, et cetera, et cetera. So to say, everything is cool. They're basing it off a very narrow scope. And so when some shit pops off, people are, well, where did that come from? I said, well, what the fuck you mean, where did it come from? It's been there the whole time. You just don't see it. Mm. And so when I said burn it down, that's a sentiment that, black folks have been saying for decades. And I'll give you a perfect example. And I'm not going to try to, beat this to fucking death, but I'll just give you a perfect example. So can you name me 5 black-owned businesses that are nationwide? New York to LA, Seattle to Miami. 5 black-owned businesses.
Oh, you mean like they got presence all over the...
Name me 5. Because there are a lot of businesses in this country. Can you name me 5?
I can't. Off the top of my head.
Okay. Name me 3.
Can't.
Can you name me 2?
I can't think of any.
Can you name me 1? Okay, I'll make it easier. Let's just split the Mississippi. East of the Mississippi, 5 black-owned businesses that have a presence east of the Mississippi from New York to Miami.
I don't know.
Okay, well, all right. You live here in California, west of the Mississippi. What about regional? Let's just say Seattle, Oregon, California. Can you name me 5?
I mean, there very well could be. I just don't know.
Why not?
Never heard of it.
Can you name me 2?
I can't name any.
Can you name any?
I can't name any.
Okay, so name me a black-owned businesses that is just throughout California. From Oregon border down to Mexico. 1. In any business. Food, furniture, clothes, any. You can't. Why not?
I mean, I guess I could claim ignorance, or I just lack of
I don't know.
awareness. I can't.
I don't know why you cannot, but the point is that how many people do you think could?
Not many.
I'm not saying there aren't, but the point is presence is familiarity. Familiarity is patronage. And so, you know, when I was watching the news on after George Floyd was killed, and they had a social unrest in Minneapolis, and that's what one of the girls, a woman said, a black woman said, "Yeah, burn it down. We don't own none of this shit. They come in here, they set up businesses. We don't own none of that." And one of the problems is it's not like they're not trying. It's not like they're not trying. I mean, I saw a report from Wells Fargo. He said that 50% of black homeowners that tried to get some pandemic relief, et cetera, were denied. 50%. So you telling me that these people got all their shit together, paperwork, et cetera, went into that bank, and 1 out of 2 qualified? So their shit was so fucked up that you said no? I don't believe that. Anybody that walks into a fucking bank has a pretty good idea of what the stipulations for doing business is. And you telling me 50% were denied? I'd like to know why. I mean, that's an unbelievable statistic. 50%. Why? I don't know the answer, but I can speculate. That's why, when you hear to burn it down, yeah, burn this shit down, man. Burn this shit down. Let's start over. All these little declarations, independence, bill of rights, all that. Look who was in the room when they wrote that shit. All men are created equal. Who was in that room?
Bunch of white guys.
Let me rephrase that. Who wasn't in that room?
No people of color.
No women were in that room.
No women either. Yeah, you're right.
So they're telling you what they mean. That's why, this Roe shit. Black people weren't surprised. This needs to be a wake-up call to the United States of America. It needs to be a wake-up call. Because what's the largest demographic in the United States? Women. What's the largest demographic of women? White women. United States Supreme Court just said, yeah, fuck you, bitch. They need to think about that. They need to think about that long and hard, man.
You sent me that Instagram clip earlier this week. I don't remember where he was talking about, to the ultra rich, it's not about black, white, any of that. If you're rich, you're rich. You're in the club. But they like using division and all these things to put us against each other and keep our wheels spinning and not going anywhere, to keep us where we're at.
Right. Exactly. That was the social construct of race. We have to figure out, how do we keep these people from taking over and killing us and taking all our money and dividing it. And that's where race came in to this picture, because if you look at history, especially during the time of enslavement, and it's funny, man. People are so fucking stupid, and they're funny, but they're stupid. So the dudes with money went to the poor white folks and said, "Hey, listen, we're gonna give you a little bit, to help us keep these black folks in line. We'll treat you a little bit better, but we ain't gonna make y'all rich. So that's like a dude having a loaf of bread, right? How many slices are in a loaf? 20?
Maybe. Yeah.
Let's just say 20. So he peels off 2 slices of bread. In fact, he gives me a quarter slice, and he gives you 3/4 slice. It tells you you're doing something. Well, who got the other 18? He does. Is he sharing it? Hell no. But he convinced you to think you're doing something because you got 3/4 slice or a slice, and I got a quarter slice of bread, and he got the whole other 18 slices. Half of it's rotten because he can't fucking eat it all. But here, your dumb ass is saying, well, I'm doing better than that black dude. And he's doing that so that you and I said, hey, man, what'd you get? You got 3/4. I only got a quarter. In fact, if I got a quarter, you got 3/4. He got 19 slices. And that's why they killed, Chairman Fred Hampton.
I was just about to bring that up.
Because he did the same fucking shit. He went to the white folks. You poor. Your schools suck. What you fighting with me for? Went to the Puerto Ricans. Said the same thing. And you know what? Them folks said, you know what? You're right. Why are we fighting? Yeah, J. Edgar's like, nah, we can't have that shit. No, we got to get rid of this dude.
And they showcased that. Did you watch Judas and the Black Messiah?
No, I haven't, man.
It's exactly what you said. It's exactly what you had said.
That's what happened. I've read the books. I've got the assassination of Fred Hampton, and it's hard for me to watch that. It's hard enough to read it.
He was 21 years old.
Well, you got to remember something. There was no fucking video games. There was no fucking social media.
Right.
Nobody gave a fuck if Tom Brady was retiring or not. Or
people grew up fast.
Did you hear Beyonce's new single? Sure. Yeah. It's like, man, we got some real motherfucking issues. We still have them today. However, we found a way to divert attention. And it's working
beautifully.
Oh man, they couldn't have imagined how well it's working, but it is.
You just brought up a whole other can of worms here that I've talked about a lot in this podcast. But I think it'd be interesting to explore this with you. It's incredible how they've really taken over your mental real estate. And that's why, as of late, I've really become protective of what I ingest, what I read, what I watch. Because exactly what you said, it works like a charm. Like,
sure,
people are worried about a celebrity trial. Not to name names, but it's like, but it's like acting like it's the biggest news on the planet. And I'm just like, what about your current situation? Because once I started to realize that my life is the only one, and the people close to me around me that is really going to be my reality. It's like, why am I worrying about a lot of pointless stuff?
Well, that's the question, yeah. Why? Because most people watch the news to either escape or for confirmation. Think about it. You either want to escape or for confirmation. I'm a proponent, though, of knowing what's going on. I think too many people just say, I don't watch the news. I'm like, well, yeah. Well.
Right.
Then you're going to be like, what happened? Well, motherfucker, watch the news.
Right. It's a balance.
It is a balance. Yeah. Get the information, know what's going on. Just like I knew this roast shit was coming. We knew it was coming. They've been working on this fucking shit since Ronald Reagan, man. They've been working on it. And the gays are next.
What do you think they're going to do with that?
Well, motherfucker, it's not what I think. Uncle Clarence told you. He said, bring that shit. And by Uncle Clarence, I mean Clarence Thomas.
Oh.
Clarence, no, but he wrote that. I mean, that was something that he said, man. Yeah, I think we need to rethink all this. So y'all, hey, you know, y'all remember that when these primaries come, because these religious zealots, they're drunk with religious jackassery, and they are not playing. They played the long game. They feel they won, so now they're feeling their Cheerios, which is you too young for that. Feeling your Cheerios.
Nah, I've never heard
Yeah,
that.
you're too young for
Okay.
that. Old Cheerios commercial. Yeah, man, they have got their second win, so there's going to be a whole lot of hey, strap in. They are just getting warmed up, baby.
You and I were talking, and I don't know if you said it or which one of us said it. It was pretty much like, well, we can drop the United at this point of states, it seems, because it's not united.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not even close.
Yeah, I said that several years ago. So the only thing united about this country is the land masses. Yeah, we're completely divided. Even I tell people because I travel a lot here in California for the work I do. I said, shit, man, only blue parts of California are the major cities: L.A. County,
San
fucking
Francisco.
San Diego County, San Francisco, Bay Area. But shit, take your ass to Palm Springs. Go to Rancho Mirage talking that shit.
Oh, I've
San
been all
Bernardino
over.
County,
Yeah.
Riverside County. Yeah. No. Ain't no motherfucking homeless people in Palm Springs. Rancho Mirage. There ain't no homeless people out there. Try that shit in Riverside County, see what happens. Shit.
Do you have hope?
Of what?
For I should specify. Do you have hope that things can get better here in the United States? And when I say better, I mean, I guess it's a very multifaceted question, but it's like not just how the country is run, but the mentality of people.
Okay, well, you heard it here first with me on Sam Dever. There's got to be massive bloodshed here, man. There's got to be a revolution. I don't mean no fucking online campaign. There's people, people are we're in bad shape, man. Look at these fucking involuntary celibate fucking assholes that can't get laid. Don't no girl want to talk to them. What's your solution? I'm just gonna pick up a rifle and kill a bunch of people. How about instead of picking up a rifle, you pick up a GQ magazine. Put on some cologne. You ain't got to make a lot of money. Figure out what girls like. No, they supposed to like me and want me the way I am. Okay, well, I thought we had freedom of expression, freedom, civil liberties, civil rights. No, bitch, they don't like you. So what's your solution? I'm gonna kill everybody. We're in trouble, man. We're in a lot of trouble. Yeah. And so one of the things that's happening, Sam, is that we just have no idea how many of these fucking douchebags are out here. These fucking losers. And then you got these, we want to protect life. No, you want to protect birth. Because some fucking asshole can go and buy this weapon. Shit, I don't even have an AR-15. And I do private protection. I got guns, but I ain't got an AR-15. But shit, I might get one.
And obviously, all due respect and sincerity to people who have lost lives over this issue, especially the recent one. I got chills, man, and that one that just happened in Chicago. You hear that gun in the background. Do. I'm just.
And what tripped me out is these motherfuckers didn't know that was some gun. It's like, yo, man, that's gunshot, son.
And it's just like, it really made me think. It's like, because I know the argument, and I'm creating a whole other ball of wax with this. I know the argument well, we need those because that defends us from the government. But it's like, this has happened how many times now? Like, this has happened. It's not even like shocking, as sad as it is, like when it does happen now. It's just like, oh, another one happened. It's not like, and it's just like,
I think that it should not be that easy to get an AR-15 or
No.
AK-47.
No, I don't think it should.
I don't think you should ban those weapons, but I think that, man, look,
It should be really tough to get.
dude, it's harder to get a fucking driver's license than to get. That's backwards, man. You need to be 30 plus to own one of those weapons. And then it's, what the fuck why are you buying this?
Yeah.
Or they should be chipped or something, man. I mean, think about it. You're just going to the grocery store to pick up some fucking oat milk. Because you got a hot date tonight. And then you're picking up some horny goat weed, too. Because you're like, yo, I'm going to beat the brakes off that motherfucker tonight. And then some fucking asshole who's mad because he can't get laid in a whorehouse with 10 grand comes in there and just shoots and kills everybody. Come on, man. Kill old folks and grandmothers and shit like that. That's fucked up. But what's more fucked up is, nah, we're not, nah. Mm-mm. Yeah, go buy another one. 18, I'm gonna buy 2 fucking AKs or AR-15s. It's like, what the fuck do you need this for, boy? Hey, what do I know?
Well, I'll just say, man, first of all, this is a treat. This was unexpected. I was going to go, head over to Glendale where you were at, and then it's like, well, shoot, North Hollywood's not far from there. Do you want a podcast?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Shit. There's a whole lot of shit going on, man. And we just gotta we have to keep our powers of perception sharp. Read, question, don't take what people say as gospel. Figure it out. Think about it. I know you're tired. I'm tired too. But there's a whole lot at stake, man. There's a whole lot at stake. And we have to stay vigilant and diligent. It's too bad, but hey, man, this is America, ain't it?
One thing you always told me too, I remember it was after Kobe Bryant died. You called me and you're just like, you don't know. Like, you don't know when it's going to happen. So whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you're thinking about doing, you better get to doing it.
That's very true. Absolutely. Very, very true. No, but one of the things, though, about Kobe Bryant, yeah, we did speak on that. But the reality is, Sam, is that the signs were there. The signs were there. It was foggy. There's no way they should have been flying in that. Now, is in hindsight, people going to say some shit about this? Absolutely. But yeah, but still, there were elements to that equation which a different answer could have been obtained, which is, no, we shouldn't fly in this fucking weather. I can't see 3 feet in front of me. And so that's the same with the shit that's happening today. Like that Roe v. Wade, they've been working on this fucking shit since Reagan, man. And they've been challenging. They send these little ass cases to the Supreme Court, and they're just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. And look this shit up if y'all think I'm, like Casey, he don't know what he's talking. Look it up. Just chipping away at it. And eventually, people who say, "Oh, I couldn't vote for Hillary Clinton." Well, you got Donald Trump, and then what? You got 3 fucking Supreme Court justices that term, and then bam.
Guess it's chess, not checkers, isn't it?
It's the long game, baby, and that's what it is. It's the long game. You better know what you're doing, man.
Oh, it's our little timer there.
For what?
Just to let me know
The
that
pizza's ready?
You want to get some pizza?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. Like, and I don't know. I think if we could, I mean, this is a 10-hour conversation we could have on all this. But like, I think,
well,
if I could
we can always chop it up.
Yeah, I think people need to wake up and like you've got to like pay attention, and not just pay attention to the world going on, but pay attention to yourself too. Like, I don't know, people are so quick to follow and so quick to not think for themselves. And you and I both being big book readers, you know, reading a lot of books and doing stuff on your own like that, it causes you to think for yourself.
Yeah, you know, you need to develop the ability to think critically and reason. You know, to say, what did he say? No, he said that. No. He what he meant was, you heard what he said, and that's what he meant. You know, that's one thing that one of the very few things I respect about Donald Trump. He told you what he was going to do. He really did. We the dumbasses, not me, collective we, the royal we. Oh, you know. No, he ain't go. Yes, he is. Yeah. And then he showed you. That January 6th shit. That's another thing, man. That's just another wake-up call to white America. And I'm going to quote KRS-One on his Edutainment album. He said, all you white people out there that think you're down with America can forget it. Because, and then he goes on about taxes. But all these folks that thought, yo, I'm an American, we're going to storm this cap. These motherfuckers, you got felonies, man. Treason, insurrection, felony. So you can think what you want, but you better know what you're doing, man. Yeah, we're going to storm the Capitol. We're going to take America back. All right. Thinking Donald Trump gives a fuck about you. He don't give a... These people are so stupid, man. I have empathy for them. And I admire their zeal and conviction. But they're idiots, man. I mean, they're just fucking idiots. They're like these religious zealots, man. I had a conversation with this cat. You know, Donald Trump grew up in Manhattan. Dad gave him all this money, trying to tell me how Trump understands the common man. Farmers and all that other shit. I said, you want to know how Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about you or any of y'all people that show up at these rallies? He said, yeah, I'd like to know that. Yeah, he said, you know what, he thought about it, but said, yeah, you know what, I'd like to know. So, who have people understood Donald Trump's favorite child to be?
I'm not even sure.
Take a guess.
Is it the little one?
No. It's his daughter.
Oh, Ivanka, yeah.
Ring a bell?
Yeah.
So people understand that to be his favorite child. Who did he give her hand in marriage to? Was it some Kid Rock looking motherfucker?
No.
You mean it wasn't Ted Nugent?
Mm-mm.
Really? No NASCAR driving, Bush beer drinking, Well, yeah, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He's in Brioni suits. His dad went to, we're talking about money here, man. We're talking about people that can make money and get in a room full of people and negotiate deals, etc. That's who he gave his favorite child's hand to in marriage. Not Kid Rock. Y'all are getting played. Think about that shit. Think about who he wanted his child, his favorite child, to reproduce with. The salt of the earth, far from it.
I never really thought about it. You're the first person that's ever brought that up. Never even thought of that.
Man, yeah. This dude, it looked like I took an axe handle and slapped him upside his head with it. Wow. Yeah, motherfucker. You're getting played. But it's right there. So if you choose to be biased and believe what you want, go right ahead. However, the facts don't support that. And, it takes a level of humility to say, dang, man, I was off on that shit. Let me recalibrate my thoughts and what I'm doing. It takes humility. Most people say, nah, I'm going to ride with this shit, even though it's fucking wrong.
Well, and really, I think that's one of the true levels of intelligence, is to be able to correct yourself or change your mind. Like the ability to change your mind. That's one thing I've realized lately. Like people get attached to, well, I said this, so I had kind of the start of our conversation with religion and stuff.
Right.
Even politics, their party, they make a religion. They make it these people are gods to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, yeah, it's perfectly fine to be like, you know what, I'm not going to ride with this anymore.
Right, but, unfortunately, like, I feel my parents, bless their heart, they just have invested so much that they just got to ride with it. And that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, man. But yeah, it takes a measure of humility to say, man, I'm wrong. Just like I talked to a friend of mine today in San Diego. She told me I'm a nice guy. I said, no. I'm a reasonable guy. I'm a reasonable guy. Because I know who I am and what I want to do and what I want to see and how I want to see it, etc. But if you can show me something that makes sense, I'm a reasonable guy.
Yeah.
I'll make adjustments. And that's called growth.
Well, my friend, I'm looking. Batteries are dying. I don't want to get chopped.
We'll get some bigger batteries, motherfucker. No, I'm just
You're exactly right. You said we were going to get going, and we've already gone out.
I'm playing.
Thank you so much for doing this. We're going to do this again. You dropped a lot of knowledge. I don't know if this might be the most intense podcast I've ever done. Like this.
Well, I didn't even give sight and source, which I can. Which I always can.
Where can the people find you? If you want to be found.
In Las Vegas. Instagram. Instagram. Just put it up.
All right.
Can you
Done.
add it?
We've put it up before.
Put it up before. Hey, everybody, thank you all for supporting my dear friend Sam. He's doing a great job. I love him to death. And I really mean that. I have very few friends. I know the batteries are blinking, and that's why he's nervous like this.
I don't want to lose
like
footage.
a whorehouse, a whore in church. Sweating. All right, we're out of here.
Peace out.
Whorehouse. Maker's Mark.